I always wanted to make a video game. I've had my fair share of attempts throughout the years, but I never really finished a game. But this time feels different, so I downloaded Unity game engine for like the 10th time, and I started a new URP project. First things first, I started with the movement. I wanted to make sure the movement feels as good and as fluid as possible with all the head bobbing, the crouching, the jumping. And then I wanted to tackle the elephant in the room, which is the reason I stopped making video games in the first place, and that is character creation. See, I'm not really a modeling 3D kind of guy, and I've always struggled with the visual artistic side of video game making. So I wanted to take as many shortcuts as possible. And it came down to 3 points really. The first one being, go with low poly. Second one being download as many models as possible. Third one being don't overcomplicate things. And with that being said, all I had to do was come up with the idea for the video game. And after a bit of brainstorming, I came up with the idea of what if you as a player are a potion maker in the 1600s and your job is to basically cure people. So patients would come up to you and tell you their symptoms. So your job is to talk to the patients, diagnose them, cook the potion, serve them the potion. But there's an entity hiding, and it could be any of these patients. Your other job is to figure out who this entity is and serve them poison. Basically, if you kill too many people by serving them poison, you lose, and if you fail to identify who the anomaly is, you lose as well. Alright, I'm glad we got that out of the way. So I started by going to Sketchfab and downloading this PS1 mail base. Shout out Firewarden 3D. And I honestly thought it was gonna be easy, like just some UV unwrapping PS1 graphics. It's not gonna be that hard.
Oh my god, bro.
But I wasn't gonna let that stop me. I wasn't gonna let that demotivate me. I finally have the motivation to start making my dream video games after years and years of waiting. And of course, I did what any sensible human would do. I gave up and I went on to create the environment for the video game. And honestly, this part wasn't really hard. After a bunch of YouTube tutorials, I got the hang of it, and it was an actual enjoyable process. So the next step was really simple. Just add some furniture here and there, make the world a bit more believable, and make the potion bottles for the main gameplay loop. Next part was to take everything I made in Blender to Unity and add some lighting. And when I added some lighting, the game looked really bad. So I went through some YouTube tutorials again. And after a bit of tweaking and some custom shaders, it looked kinda okay this time. Oh, and you can now grab things in the world and throw them around, I guess. The next thing I did was make the bottles actually pickable and highlightable. And then I thought, well, liquids isn't enough, so I need more ingredients, so I added some more ingredients. And most of the assets you see in here are from either the Unity store or Sketchfab. And I was really inspired by a game called Kiosk, where you have a real cooking simulator inside of a horror game, and the cooking mechanics are actually pretty good. So I added a way where you can cut ingredients. And the next mechanic was a way to crush ingredients. Then I wanted the bottles to simulate liquid physics, but I couldn't really get this part right. So I just asked ChatGPT to do it, and it actually did it. It doesn't look good, but it's fine. Then I wanted to make the cooking pot appear like it's actually boiling, and I found this really nice tutorial by Polytools. Polytoots, sorry. Then I made the bottles look like they're actually pouring into the pot, and the end result was pretty nice. Then I added some footsteps audio and like picking up bottles audio, picking up stuff, putting them down. And I made it that you have to pick up the sticks and turn on the fire to start actually cooking. Then I improved the slicing by finding a really good deal on a Unity asset that allows you to slice meshes. I also made all the stuff on the table kind of shake whenever the knife hits the table. And then I added another element of danger where you actually run out of potions and you have to fill it up by going outside where the anomaly could be. Then I found out that there's this really cool Blender plugin called HumeGen that allows you to make humans, which is everything I need right now. Lastly, I found out that you can actually go to CG Trader, get a subscription, and get like 25 downloads for like $11, which is an insane deal. So I just got a bunch of clothes for my characters. And I made my first character. Meet Edward. Edward looks at you all the time. After Edward, I became really excited and I decided to go ahead and make the rest of the characters for the game. Meet Margaret, Elizabeth, George, Robert, Thomas, Sir Jamie, and Isabel. Two of the characters I just got from CG Trader because I got lazy. And of course, every horror game requires a monster, so I got this model from CG Trader as well. Then I made it that the characters can transform their mesh into a monster, but it wasn't that seamless. But after a little bit of tweaking, I got a result I was happy with. Lastly, I made a recipe system that shows you the ingredients required on the board. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and stay tuned.